So there is a statistic that says that people who live together before marriage are at an increased risk of divorce. In digging into this statistic, Stanley, Markman, and Rhodes identify that there are two groups of people who wind up living together before marriage, and they called them sliders and deciders. Deciders are people who intentionally make the decision to live together as a compatibility test for marriage. On the other hand, sliders are people who sort of wind up living together for other sorts of reasons, like they want to save on rent so they move in together, or like their leases were up and they already spend so much time together, they may as well just live together. And so for deciders, or for example, people who are engaged before they moved in together, they are not at increased risk of divorce compared to people who wait to live together until they're married. So what is it about sliders that actually puts them at an increased risk for divorce? Well, it's actually sort of a culmination of a variety of different things. The first is this idea that people who sort of wind up living together sort of wind up doing other things down the road too. So, oh, well, we already live together. We may as well get engaged to be married because that's sort of the next step. And like, all right, well, we're already engaged. I guess it's time to start planning our wedding. And then we're married. I guess it's time for us to start having kids. And that sort of pattern of falling into the next step is sort of one of the risk factors for worse marital or relationship outcomes. And the second contributing factor to why they're at an increased risk for divorce is this increased risk of uncertainty in the relationship. So for people who don't make a decision to live together and they sort of wind up living together, there's a lot of ambiguity around what this means for our relationship. So while my partner decided to move in with me because he wanted to save on rent, I'm living with him as a compatibility test for marriage, and we haven't really been talking about engagement, and now I'm wondering if I'm more committed to this relationship than my partner is. Or like I've been waiting a couple of years because we've been living together a while and, I'm waiting for the ring, but my partner doesn't even know that I'm waiting for the ring because we don't really talk about those sorts of things. And that festering of uncertainty can really erode at the foundation of your relationship. And so when those people do eventually get married, they're not the kinds of people that are talking about the state of their relationship necessarily. And that lack of relationship talk is a risk factor for divorce as well. So it's not living together that's a problem. It's not talking about what it means for you and your relationship and your partner and your commitment to each other that is the problem. And those things are sort of characteristic of sliders, and they're not really concerns for deciders.